This video shows how we can modify hydrant sizes within Civil 3D Content Editor and within Civil 3D. So you want to open up the Content Editor, and I'm using the one in Autodesk Civil 3D 2020, which is Content Catalog Editor. You can use the newer versions, it should be similar. So in this case, I'm modifying the steel, and in this case, all my steel have hydrants as the parts. If yours doesn't, you just want to go look at the parts catalog that does have it. If your PID and part family ID columns don't show up, hit the show hide columns, and at the bottom select PID and part family ID. The part family ID is the file name that I want to go open and modify, and then publish the part. And the PID is the block name within that drawing. So I'm going to open up Civil 3D, go to the open. I'm going to go grab it from the steel drawings, and I said I was looking for E7. And so this should be the correct file. I'm going to go ahead and hit open. And this size was 72 inches. And so I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to save it within my delete folder for test. And I'm going to give it a name of 84 inches. And I'm going to say save and replace that other version. So I first want to change my hydrant depth. And so I want to move this elbow down the specified distance. In this case, I'm going from 72 inches to 84. So that's going to be 12 inches. So I want to split up this solid. So I'm going to go from the Civil 3D workspace to the 3D modeling workspace. And there's an option to slice. So I'm going to go ahead and select the solid. And I'll notice that nothing happened because I forgot to explode it. So here on the block reference, here's that PID number, the name of the block. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit explode. And now I have a solid that I can then slice. So I'm going to go ahead and select the solid. I'm going to do 3 points. And I'm just going to do center. And then quadrant. And then do another quadrant. And then I want to keep both, so I'll press enter for the default. And now I should have the pipe and then the elbow. And then I'm just going to use the move command for M, pick my point, and type 12 to move it down 12 inches. And then I can then lower this down. To do that, I'm just going to rotate the view just so I can see the grip. I can select the grip, do center to the fitting, so do the top of it, and now I should have 2 of them. I then want to union them together using this solid union. I'll select both solids, and now I have 1 solid. I'm going to go back to the Civil 3D workspace, and on the View tab there's an option to go back, and I'm just going to put it back to the original view. So now I need a center line that goes through my hydrant, and to do that you can just create a line. I'm going to do it from the center of the fitting on this one, and that if I use polar and go all the way up, that should give me a center line for my hydrant. And then I want an Autodesk connection point. I want it at the insertion point. I'm going to add it to the solid. I'm going to do center to do the face. And then the first point, I'm going to do the center. And then do the other center. And I'm going to say no to add in engineering data. And so now I rotated it 180 degrees, so then it's going the correct direction. And I had to rotate it because I should have picked the center of this flange circle and then picked that center of that flange circle. And then I can save my drawing, and then I can publish part content. I can select the solid, I can select the line, and then inches, and this is going to be a hydrant. And then I can save it, and I'm going to put it in my delete folder, my test folder, and save it as the 84-inch name. And then I can go ahead and close this drawing. And now I can go into content catalog. And if I try to save it in this location, it's not going to let me do that. So I'm just going to save it to a temporary location. And I'm going to put it in my documents, delete, and then my test folder. And I'm just going to keep it the same name. That's going to copy all the files into that temporary folder. And then once I'm done editing it, I'll copy it over and paste it back. So I'll right click and import that part. I'm going to navigate to my folder. And it's going to be this content file. It's going to be a hydrant, and I'm going to give it the name for the family. My ID type is going to be water hydrant. My ID material is going to be ductile iron, or whatever your needs are. And then my description is going to be the 84 inches. And then I noticed I messed up, so I'll just go back here and change this to 84. And then I can hit next, and then hit finish. Here I can see that I don't have the nominal description, so I can just add it and then check the values to make sure that they match the other values for the other existing hydrants. And it looks like it does. And then I can hit save. And I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the content editor. And then I created it in a temporary location under test. And so here's the folder. And here's the SQL file. So I need to go ahead and copy that and put it within the pressure pipes catalog for 2020. So I'll go ahead and do Control V, and I'll replace the files. And so now the date is my current time. And then in here, there should be a drawing and an image that is modified with today's date. And that's what I created. In Civil 3D, I can check to make sure that it shows up. So I first want to make sure that my pipe network catalog is steel. And then I can create a new parts list. And hopefully when I right click and add type, I now have my 84-inch hydrant. I can add a size for my pipe. And then I should be able to create a pipe network using my new parts list. Oh, I forgot to add a size. So now I have a hydrant. And so there's my hydrant. Hopefully when I change it to shaded or conceptual, it'll look correct. And if I do a DI from the center to the center, it gives me 5 feet, and then I'm not sure where it's measured from, but it might be measured from the center. And so that's how you can add a hydrant size with a greater depth.